Hi team, welcome to today's workout. Thank you so much for joining me today. Before we get started, I will remind you, please make sure to check in once we are finished. You can do that just below the video player here. As well, please make use of the stretching video that is also available to you. Flexibility really is just as important as the workout itself. All right, so today's workout, we're going to do supersets with plank holds. So how this is going to work is first we're going to have our superset, two different exercises that are going to work different parts of our bodies while the other rests. We're going to do each exercise for a set amount of reps. We're going to go through each superset twice. After those 2 rounds, we're going to switch into some sort of plank that we're going to hold for 1 whole minute. I'll show you how to do everything before we even do it. So let's get started. Number 1, we're going to do 10 per side swinging lunges, 20 bent over rows. Then we are switching to a front plank for our final minute. All right, like I said, I'll show you these things and then we'll get started. So a swinging lunge, if you need to hold on to something for balance, please feel free to do that. But a swinging lunge combines a reverse lunge and a forward lunge. All right, so a reverse lunge, you're going to swing one leg behind you, drop your center of gravity down over your knee in front, pushing up through that heel in the front in order to stand up. From there, your back leg that was just in that reverse lunge position, you're going to kick it forward to about a 45-degree angle, lean onto it, and again, thinking of dropping that center of gravity down towards your knee that is now in the front. So down again, pushing up through that heel in the front. So basically, you're always pushing up through whichever heel is in the front of you. Each direction is 1, so 1, 2, 3, etc. We're going to do 10 on one side, then we're going to switch over and do 10 on the other. After that, we're going to switch to 20 bent over rows. So you're going to need some weights for this. Soup cans, dumbbells, water bottles, whatever you have handy. We're starting feet shoulder width apart with a slight bend in our knees. From there, we're hinging forward at our waist pretty far. I'd say about a 45-degree angle, just like this. With our shoulder blades down nice and low on our backs, we're going to drive our elbows up behind us, keeping them nice and close to our bodies. And then we're going to squeeze our shoulder blades together up top. All right, 20 of those. Then we are switching into a front plank. Now, this is a plank position on the floor. That being said, if you find that's just too intense for you, you can stand up, lean against something like a wall, a set of stairs, a chair, anything that's going to have you standing up taller is going to make this less intense for you. All right. So getting into that plank position, we're going to be on our elbows, keeping a nice straight line from our shoulder to our contact point with the floor, whether that's your knees or your toes, completely up to you. We're just going to squeeze our cores nice and tight, holding that for 1 whole minute. All right. So let's get started here, team, with our swinging lunge, 10 per side. Here we go in 3, 2, 1, and go. So behind, pushing up through that heel, whichever heel is in front. 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7. Awesome job, team. 8, 9, and 10. All right, switching legs. 3, 2, 1, and go. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 5. Keep going, team. 6, and 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, bent over rows. Switching to those. First 20. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, and go. 1, 2, and 3. So squeezing those shoulder blades back behind you, keeping your elbows nice and close to your body as you lift. And 8, 9, and 10. We're halfway through now. 11, and 12, 13, 14. Almost there, team. 15, 16, 17. Almost done. 18, 19, and 20. All right, switching back to our swinging lunge, final round, and then we will switch to our plank. Here we go in 3, 2, 1, and go. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6. Keep going, team. 7, up to 10, 8, 9, and 10. All right, switching sides. 3, 2, 1, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Always pushing up through whichever heel is in the front of you at the time. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Whew. All right, final bent over rows here, team. 20 of these. Here we go in 3, 2, 1, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Awesome job, team. 5. Stay with me now. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We're halfway through. 11, and 12, 13. Almost there, team. 14, 15, 16. Almost done. 17. Squeezing those shoulder blades together. 19 and 20. Whew. All right, let's get into position for our front plank for our minute. Here we go, team. And remember, you can modify this, make it a little simpler by going down to your knees. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and up. All right, so keeping that core squeeze nice and tight. Bring that bum down nice and low, no bums in the air. Awesome job, team. Stay with me now. Keep holding, keep squeezing, keep breathing normally. 30 seconds. Awesome job, team. Almost done. 15 seconds. Stay with me now. And almost done. Here we go. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Whew. All right. Awesome job, team. Let's take this quick break. We'll grab some water, and then we'll move on to the next one. Ooh. All right, team. Take a deep breath with me. Here we go. And in. And out. All right, moving on here, team. Number 1, or first out of this round, we're going to do 10 per side clamshells. After that, we're going to do 20 of something called arm get-ups, or 10 per side. I will show you how you can change that if you'd rather do all 10 first and then switch sides. Then we are switching to a left side plank for our final minute. I'll show you these things and then we will get started. So, clamshells. We're going to lay down on our side just like this with our knees bent, kind of forming a V shape just like so. From here, you're going to use your toes as a pivot point. Keeping your toes together, we're just going to open and close our hips until you feel a small squeeze in that hip, just up and down, just like this. We're going to do all 10 on one side, then we're going to switch over and do 10 on the other. After that, we are switching to arm get-ups. Now, this is another plank position on the floor. Remember what I said about modifying it to make it a little bit less intense by standing up and leaning against something if you need to, okay? Because what we're going to do, we're going to get down into our plank position, starting on our elbows again, keeping that nice straight line from our shoulder to our contact point, which can be your knees or your toes, completely up to you. What we're going to do from here is we're going to swing one hand underneath us. I kind of like to line it up kind of with the bottom of my ribs, just a couple inches below my sternum. That is kind of a good push-off point because one arm at a time, you're going to bring that arm underneath yourself, push yourself up, lower yourself down with the same arm, all right? And then we're just going to switch sides. But this is the one I was saying, if you want to do all 10 on one side first, then you can switch to the other arm. Feel free to do that. I'm going to do 20 alternating back and forth, all right? After that, we are switching to a left side plank. So left side plank, we're going to be on our left arm, just like this. And then you have two options for this. First option, which is going to make it a little bit less intense, is you can swing your bottom leg underneath, make it parallel to that forearm. You're going to lift up, squeezing that core nice and tight the whole time. Or if you're feeling ambitious today, feet together, okay? And then you can plank up on that side. Make sure your shoulder is directly over your elbow. If you're out like this, okay, see how it's kind of at an angle driving into the floor. You're going to put a lot of pressure on that shoulder. It's going to make your plank tougher, all right? So making sure that you're getting that kind of nice 90-degree angle with your shoulder into your elbow. And we're going to hold that for our final minute. All right, so clamshells. Let's start with those here, team. 10 per side. First round, here we go. In 3, 2, 1, and go. 1, 2. Give yourself a little half second to a second pause once you get that knee open. And 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, switching to our opposite side. 10 on the other side. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and go. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 5. Awesome job, team. 6. Stay with me now. 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, arm get-ups. 10 per side or 20 in total. However you want to count these. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and go. 1, 2, 3. So going up and down with the same arm. 4. Being on your knees is going to make these a bit less intense than being on your toes. 7. Keep your core nice and tight as well. Try to limit your twisting side to side if possible. 10. Halfway through. 11. 12. 13. Almost there, team. 14. Stay with me now. 15. 16. Almost done. 17. Whew. 18. 19. Last one. 20. All right, switching to those clamshells. 10 per side. Second round. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, and go. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5. Keep going, team. 6, and 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, switching sides. Here we go. 10 on the other side. Getting into position in 3, 2, 1, and go. 1, and 2, 3. So feeling that squeeze in your hip before you lower back down. And 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, switching to arm get-ups. Final 20 of these, then we will switch to our left side plank. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. keep going team, and 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We're over halfway through now. 11, 12, keep going team, 13, modify these if you need to, and 15, 16, ooh, almost there, 17, 18, and 19, one more, and 20. Ooh, all right, final left side plank. Modify this however you need to. Let's get into position. Here we go in 3, 2, 1, and go. It's keeping that core squeezed nice and tight the whole time. Nice tight core, breathing normally. Awesome job, team. Stay with me now. 30 seconds. Awesome job. Ooh, 15, we're almost there. Keeping that core squeezed nice and tight, breathing normally. And 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Whew. All right, awesome job, team. We'll take this quick break. Let's grab some water, and then we'll move on to the next one. Whew. All right, team, take a deep breath with me. Here we go, and in, and out. All right, moving on here, team. We are going to do 10 per leg, single leg hip lifts. After that, we have 20 skull crushers. Then we are switching to our right side for our final minute for our next plank. I will show you how to do these things, and then we will get started. So, single leg hip lifts. We're gonna lay down on our backs, knees bent up towards the ceiling. To start, what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring those feet and those knees nice and close together down the center line of our body. From there, one foot is gonna go up into the air. Then we're gonna push ourselves up off our bottom foot, squeezing our bums at the top. We're going to do 10 on one side, then we're gonna switch over and do 10 on the other. You wanna make these a little more intense for yourself. Feel free to add some weight to your pelvis. That will help. 10 on one side, then we'll switch legs. After that, we are switching to something called skull crushers. So, skull crushers, tricep exercise. Again, we're gonna lay down on our backs, knees bent up towards the ceiling, just like this. From here, with a weight in both hands, our weight is going to rest by our ears, just like this. Elbows are pointed up towards the ceiling, just like so. From here, we're just gonna straighten our arms right up into the sky, just like this. All right, 20 of those. Then we are switching to a right side plank. So you have the same options for your left side plank. On your right forearm, you can swing that leg underneath, or if you're feeling nice and ambitious today, you can do this from both of your feet, holding that for our final minute. So let's get started here, team, with our single leg hip lifts, 10 per leg. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, and go. 1, 2, and 3. Keep going, team. 4, squeezing that bum at the top, and 6, 7, keep going. 8, 9, and 10. All right, switching legs. 3, 2, 1, and go. 1, and 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep going, team. 6, and 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, switching to our skull crushers. 20 of these. Let's grab our weights. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, and go. 1, 2. So keeping those elbows where they are, you're really just using them as a hinge point. 5, and 6, 7, 8. Keep going, team, all the way up to 20. And 10, 11, 12, 13. Almost there, team. 14. Stay with me now. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. All right, let's switch to our final round. Single leg hip lifts, 10 per side. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and go. 1, 2, and 3, 4. Keep going, team. Squeezing that bum at the top. 6, 7, 8. Almost done. 9, and 10. All right, switching legs. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep going, team. 5, and 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, final skull crushers here, team. Then we will switch to our right side plank. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and go. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Keep going, team. 8, 9, and 10. We're halfway through. 11, 12, 13. Almost there. 14. Stay with me now, team. Straightening those arms right up towards the ceiling. At 17, 18, 19, and 20. All right, switching to our right side plank. Final minute. Let's get into position. Remember to modify this if you need to. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and go. Nice job, team. Keep that core squeeze nice and tight. Breathing normally. Awesome job. 30 seconds. We're halfway through now. Stay with me now. Almost done. Good. 30 seconds. Ooh, almost done. Or that was 15 rather. This is 3, 2, 1, and rest. Good. All right. Excellent job, team. Let's take this quick break, grab some water, then we have one left. Whew. All right, team. Take a deep breath with me. Here we go. And in and out. All right. Moving on here, team, last round. We are going to do 10 per side of something called a hip flexor raise. After that, we are going to do 20 plank walks. Then we are going to hold a hip lift hold at the top for our final plank. I'll show you how to do these things and then we will get started. So, hip flexor raise. We're going to start standing with all of our weight over on one of our legs, just like this. If you want to use a weight for this, you can. We're just gonna rest that weight on the front of our thigh that has no weight on it, just like this. From here, keeping a slight bend in the leg with all of your weight on it. You're just gonna drive your knee up as high as it will go, kind of running your fingers down your thigh towards your knee. All right, just up and down, just like this. We're going to do 10 on one side, then we're gonna switch over and do 10 on the other. After that, we're switching to plank walks. So a plank walk, this again is a plank position on the floor. This isn't really a plank position you can do standing and leaning against something. So if you do find you need something a bit less intense than being on your toes, try this from your knees, all right? So what we're gonna do, also if you have a yoga mat, that's kind of a great indication of space. If not, you will still be able to do these, no problem. What we're going to do, we're going to get into that plank position, but we're gonna kind of start with our hands off to one side, all right? Again, keeping a nice straight line from your shoulder to your contact point with the floor, whether that's your knees or your toes, completely up to you. So starting with our hands together off to one side, we're going to take 2 steps with our hands to the opposite side, all right? So it's 1, together, 2, together. That is a count of 1, all right? And then 1, together, 2, together. That's 2, 1, together, 2, that's 3. Just back and forth, just feeling that pressure throughout your arms, all right? We're going to do 20 of those. After that, we're going to switch into a hip lift hold, okay? So hips up towards the ceiling, squeezing our bums. We're just gonna hold that for our final minute. So let's get started here, team, with our hip flexor raise. 10 per side, grab a weight if you are using it. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, and go. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 5. Keep going, team. 6, and 7. Going all the way up to 10, 8, 9, and 10. All right, switching sides. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and go. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 5, and 6, 7, 8. Keep going, team. 9, and 10. All right, plank walks into those, 20 of these. Here we go, team, modifying them if you need to. 3, 2, 1, and go. So 1 together, that's 1, 1 together, 2, that's 2, that's 3. Doesn't have to be a huge step with your hands either. And 5, 6, 7, just going side to side. 8, meet your hands in the middle as well. It feels really awkward if you try to cross your hands, all right? 11, 12, 13, 14, almost there, team. 15, 16, 17, stay with me now. 18, 19, and 20. Whew. All right, back to our hip flexor raise final round. Then we will switch to our hip lift hold. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and go. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7. Keep going, team. 8, 9, and 10. All right, switching sides. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and go. 1, 2, and 3. Awesome job, team. Almost done. And 5, 6, 7. Almost done. 8, 9, and 10. All right, switching to our plank walks. Final 20 of these. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, and go. 1 together, 2, that's 1. Together, 2, that's 2. 3, and 4. Keep that core nice and tight on this one as well here, team. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Again, doesn't have to be really big steps with your hands. 12, 13, 14, 15, almost there. 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. All right, final hip lift hold for our final minute. Let's get into position here, team. Here we go in 3, 2, 1, and go. So hips up, squeezing that bum at the top, making sure the weight is kind of evenly distributed through your feet. If you're up on your heels, you're going to get a lot more hamstring action, which could cause a Charlie horse or a cramp. So make sure that weight is evenly dispersed through your feet, squeezing that bum nice and tight at the top. If that gets intense for you, feel free to let that squeeze at the top go. And then you can revisit that if you want to for the rest of the minute. We have 25 seconds left, and then we're done for the day. Awesome job, team. Stay with me now. All right, 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Oh, feeling that for sure. All right, we're done, team. Excellent work today. Thank you so much for joining me. I always appreciate you being here. Now that we are finished, please remember to check in. You can do that just below the video player here. As well, if you feel comfortable with it, I would love to see your sweaty selfie on social media. You can tag me on both Facebook and Instagram at M12 Fitness Liz. All right? Thanks again so much, team, and I'll see you for our next workout.